Welcome to the Main Street Podcast with Brandon Benefield.
Hey, what is going on here?
Adam Howell.
Okay, I need 33 1/3 pounds of bacon.
Alfred Romero.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm like a dumpster.
And Adrian Moss.
Let's do this!
We use the word revolution because this is a revolution.
Hold one, arm drag. Woo!
The millions.
What? That's the big wiggle.
Look at all of this crap in this ring.
Hold two, arm bar.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
It's still real to me, damn it.
That's right, yet another podcast about professional wrestling. Seriously, guys?
Making their way to the ring at a combined weight of 776 pounds, the Mean Street
Podcast.
Hold three, the moss-covered, three-handle family Gradunzel. Two, sweet!
God almighty, the roof just came off.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Like, the way I'm getting my kicks is by investing in WWF action figures. I think we're recording. What a great time to call us in. Brandon, why don't you just go ahead and do it?
Huh? Oh, Adam?
Not do it.
Oh, hey, Main Street Podcast fans. Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is the Main Street Podcast. Alfred disappeared, by the way, but that's all right.
He's
it's
on his
B-Double
way
here.
back.
It's B-Double here. It's Spaghetti Night, so who knows? He's probably not done with dinner yet. Coming to you from across the interwebs from my brothers, from other mothers, and there's A-Bomb 2 Sweet. What's up, man?
You really need to put some bravado in your voice.
There's A-Bomb 2 Sweet. What's up, man?
There it is. That's right. I'm here to deliver some unbiased journalistic integrity to all the meanies out there. I'm here to raise the standard by silencing the falseness, and I'm joined by Alfred Romero.
Hey, yo.
I hear him.
Hey, yo.
Oh, there.
Oh,
What's going on with the video conference here? Why isn't it picking up?
Hey, yo.
Alfred.
Hey, yo. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Hey.
There you are, you old rascal.
Alfred Romero, we're going to
Hey.
need you to get off that dial up and get on a true DSL or cable modem. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I think that was a Macho Man mixed with Jake the Snake, mixed with a waitress from Waffle House.
That was
I
the
didn't
big,
take a drag from a cigarette when I did it.
that was the big macho man from Bibb County.
Yeah, the Macho Man, Bibb County representative. What's up, buddy?
Oh,
Hey,
the Bibb County
boss.
representative.
Look, I'm wearing the journalistic integrity shirt. I think this bought us a couple of pads that.
Brandon, I feel like we need to screen. We need to screen who buys those shirts.
I think that Alfred was here a minute ago and he was stone cold sober, and then now he comes in and he is Jeff Hardy fucked up.
What?
Nothing, buddy. How you doing? He's like, I got kids now. I can't do this guy. And he's gone.
Where'd he go?
Eric Bischoff's about to come down to the ring and be like, "Hey, you need to sit this one out."
Yeah.
How dare you?
Have y'all seen that famous match? It was at a
With
TNA
Sting. With Sting.
with Jeff Hardy versus Sting. Brandon, you're probably the biggest TNA fan amongst us. Were you watching at that time?
I was not watching at the time, but that's kind of gone down in lore, TNA wrestling lore. Like, everybody's seen it at this point. I think it's made the
And what
rounds. He was completely out of his mind on pills or something. And if you look at him when he comes out, apparently it took him forever to come out to the ring to start with. And then when he did, like, his eyes were glossy and like just crazy looking. And Sting, just you could see the disgust
Sting
on
was
Sting's face.
pissed. Oh,
Yeah.
man, he was mad.
Which
I
is
think-
funny because Sting has his background. Like, Sting was known to bump a snoot a time or two.
Yeah, but you never saw that on screen, you know? You didn't. He never main evented a pay-per-view poked out of his mind.
I mean, he probably did.
Maybe, but you know what? He's a fucking professional.
I'm gonna hit this 8-ball before I hit the ring.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is
He did the circuit with flair, okay? Like, he knows how to handle his shit in the ring.
That's why Sting was mad, is he probably whispered in Jeff Hardy's ear.
Kayfabe, brother, kayfabe.
You would have made it in the early 80s.
So yeah, Bischoff came down to the ring, as you alluded to a second ago, and I guess he like pulled him in and just said, "Hey, look, here's what's going to happen. You're just going to take the pinfall and get this over with real quick."
Yeah.
And yeah, that was about it. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, if you've not watched it, and to the listeners, if you have not watched it, go back and pull it up on. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. It really is.
It's so interesting. It's so like
It
like
is. It's
basically
extremely interesting.
Their entrances were longer than the match itself.
Yeah.
And it was like the worst schoolboy roll up you've ever seen in your life. It was just, and he may have even hit the Stinger Death Drop on him. I don't remember.
I remember when he's walking out and the fans are booing and saying, chanting bullshit. Sting turns around to the crowd and he's like, "Yeah, I agree."
Yeah. But it's such a fascinating a drop, a pinpoint on pro wrestling history. And I think that's what we're in the midst of another huge one.
Oh my God! You're talking about when Marty Jannetty just decided to wake up and confess to murder?
Well, that's not what
on a Monday or whenever it was.
That's not what I was referring to. But
what are you talking about?
Something bigger than that.
Tell the listeners, tell the meanies about what's happening with former Rockers tag team with Shawn Michaels, and he's the biggest coward. He tried to escape through that barbershop window. Tell us about what he's doing.
Well, after that, he killed a guy with a brick.
Well, what's the story there?
No, it was way before that. It was when he was like, supposedly. This is all supposedly. So what I've come to find out
in law enforcement terms, we use the word allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's the legal
allegedly.
Term.
Yeah. So apparently and I've learned this after the fact, that he apparently is on a lot of drugs, and he spouts off on social media.
The only thing I killed, man, is my career.
He apparently spouts off on social media quite a bit. So there's a lot of people saying like this could just be, who knows if it's even true, if it's just one of his crazy things he's saying. But apparently he said when he was like 13, he was at a bowling alley buying drugs from somebody who took him around back and was going to sexually assault him. So in self-defense, he beat the hell out of the guy and I guess killed him using a brick, and the guy disappeared. But the way he phrased it at the beginning was like, the first time I made somebody disappear. Then everybody's like, whoa, first time? How many times?
Jack the Ripper here for a second.
Right. So, and apparently he was on some radio show a couple days after the post and kind of doubled down on what he said and kind of elaborated a little bit. So he's still not denying it. And I saw somewhere where like the Columbus police are starting to investigate it now.
Yeah.
So instead of diffusing the situation, he just kind of amplified it a little bit more.
But it's funny. The statement from the Columbus police was, "Yeah, we're going to look into this after all these other murders we're working on right now."
Yeah. Well, I mean, how old is he? Like 60s?
No. Yeah, is there like a statute limitation on that?
What is he?
No, 50? Not on murder.
No,
50s?
Sorry, Alfred.
Damn. I guess
shoplifting, you got something, but murder.
No, but what is he? What is he? 50s? I don't know. How old is he?
You mean to tell me that I can't go kill somebody and just wait for 50 years somewhere?
That sucks. Really
the few remaining Nazis we have in this country are like, oh, God. I was so close.
Damn it.
Anyways, point is, he was 13, I guess, when it happened. If he's like 50-something now, I guess. I don't know how old he is. So to your point, Moss Man, that's what I was getting at. Like, I don't know how long it's been, but I guess it's been, 40-something years?
Oh, yeah.
If he was 13, I don't know how old he is now, but 50-something? I don't know.
He's too old to be a wrestler. I know that because, the good ones die way too early.
So no one's known if there's like a story, because obviously there had to have been some kind of police situation where there'd be a report on what happened, wouldn't there have been?
Maybe it was just a drifter.
Yeah. So the Columbus Police Department said that what they would do is they would look at any like open cases where they had remains or something like that had been discovered during that time period and see if any what would you call it, reports, Adrian? What's the terminology there that they would use?
Police reports?
I'm sorry. Hang on. Give me a second, man. I got some.
You okay? I know it.
got the Rona.
He's getting choked up about it. I understand. He's one of your favorites. I get it.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Marty Jannetty. Everybody.
Well, I think what they're doing is they'll probably go through old case files in the area in that time to see if there were any missing person reports that were done up, or if they found any corpses that still had like tassels like left near the scene.
Hopefully, they make
me that'd be open.
This sounds like a perfect episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
That was like his calling card. Instead of leaving like the Joker card, he would leave tassels from his
tassels. Yeah.
He was only 13, so and of course, apparently, he is just heavily on drugs these past few years. And but in the same Twitter or whatever it is, he said that like he basically threatened the woman that he's with or has been with, and he was like, "Hey, no one gets to hurt me because that's what I did to that person." When I was 13, if you hurt me, you might go and get disappeared too.
Oh, I wonder if at that point if it's just safe to call Shawn Michaels for backup. Yeah. He's leaving pictures. He's leaving pictures of HBK like signed in lipstick that says "It should have been me."
To be honest, Marty Jannetty was a lot of people talk about Marty Jannetty being the better wrestler of the two. And
how do you feel about that? Do you think that's an honest thing?
I was about to ask you what. Yeah, do you think that's true?
You know what? I have not regularly studied Marty Jannetty's career, so
I can't answer that because I really don't know. He maybe he is. Maybe he was just, maybe
or do you think he was
or
do you think he was just a much better charismatic character, Shawn Michaels? Maybe
Shawn Michaels definitely was more charismatic.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong because I honestly just do not know. So after the whole barbershop incident thing, when they split the Rockers up, did Jannetty do really anything with wrestling after that?
Yeah, he teamed up with Al Snow and the New Rockers.
See, I didn't even know that there was a New Rockers.
Let me make sure that is accurate.
If you don't, Twitter and Facebook are going to come after you for
they're going to take this video down.
Yeah.
So you know what?
I've seen the footage of the barbershop window numerous times, but they were a team before I was ever started watching it. So what year would that have been? Do you think?
What did you say?
When the Rockers broke up, what year would that have been?
So like 80s, something?
Early 90s, late 80s?
Sounds like probably 80s.
So hang on. So he did team up in February 1996. Jenny turned heel by joining Leif Cassidy, a.k.a. Al Snow, to form the New Rockers. In 1996, so like coming up on King of the Ring 96 when Austin 316 was born. Before that, the Rockers were from 88 to 92, if that answers your question, Brandon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then he left and he returned, and he was the Intercontinental Champion?
With amazement.
Yeah. I think that's what's surprised. Like, oh my gosh.
He did.
Let me look at
He won a title?
That might be the same reaction when people say Zack Ryder won the Intercontinental Championship.
No,
easy. Alfred Easy, that's Adam's favorite right there. You can't compare him to Marty Jannetty.
Sorry about that.
I remember when I had an opinion that was wrong. No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
No, I don't.
Sorry.
He was the Intercontinental Champion. That's fascinating. I never knew that.
Well,
but anyway, he was. I'd like to go back and watch his early stuff now and just see what could have been, maybe. Because
maybe we should do that with that little idea we're throwing around of just finding.
Getting little scissor reel some of his best matches.
Maybe we can do a deep dive on specific wrestlers and go back.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. So I feel like Marty Jannetty is like the who was the guy in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective who went crazy with the laces out thing?
Ray Finkel, Louis Einhorn.
Finkel and Einhorn.
Laces out.
So Louis, what was his name?
Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel, but he transformed into
Lois Einhorn.
It's messed up into a transgender named
Louis Einhorn.
Louis Einhorn.
Lois.
You tried really hard not to say tranny.
You can't say that, man.
Lois Einhorn.
Dude, if I was a tranny, I'm a tranny.
Yeah.
So
you ever thought about that?
I feel like Marty Jannetty is the Ray Finkel of the wrestling world.
Yeah, I almost made a laces out joke, but I wasn't sure if anybody was going to get that or not.
Dan Marino should die of gonorrhea and rot in hell.
Yeah.
Would you like a cookie, son? What do you know? They're little footballs. Laces
Shawn
out.
Michaels just driving around like wads of big red.
You're a weird guy, Ace. Weird guy.
So that's the wrestling news, folks.
Well, we had some other stuff happen. Who joined us on Blast from the Past? Joined us on AEW. Well, a couple of them actually.
Adam's favorite debuted in the ring.
Yeah.
Matt Cardona. I still haven't watched it though, unfortunately.
Well, you know what's funny is that people are giving him a lot of shit online about, oh, he's only there because Cody works there and him and Cody are best friends. And I'm like, yo, have you ever worked anywhere where your buddy worked and your buddy put in a good word for you so you can get hired? Or you helped your friend get hired at a job because like, hey, hire this guy, he's awesome. And then you end up working with your buddy for 6 months and then they realize that's not a good idea. I mean,
well, no, like people have like they poop on nepotism a lot, but nepotism is awesome. And so, like, if I were to create a business, then I would hire Adrian.
naturally,
And we would.
and that's it, guys.
Thank God.
Screw you,
didn't say
dude.
me.
Yeah, I don't want to work for you.
I mean, like
Exactly. Alfred knows what's up.
I don't think there's anything wrong in nepotism. I think that's fine. You know, like you bring in the people that you trust, and especially Matt Cardona. Not only can you trust him as an individual, I'm sure. Otherwise, Cody wouldn't have hired him, or TK wouldn't have hired him. But he's a great worker, and he is a hustler, man. Like he hasn't stopped working. He's probably been working more since he got laid off than before he was working with WWE. I mean, he's a hard worker, so why wouldn't you want him there?
And it's one of those guys that really created his brand, stayed in his niche, and just stayed with it, man. I mean, I think it's awesome.
He wants it. He wants it really bad. You know, there's few people who really work hard to get there. For some people, it's easy, and they don't really appreciate it. You respect a guy who you can tell goes out there and really, no matter whether he's at the top of the game or whether he's at the bottom of the game or the middle, he still wants to go out there and put on a good performance. And you respect people like that. And when you see someone like that, you definitely want them a part of your organization, a part of your show, because you know that every time he comes into the ring, he's going to pretty much deliver to you every single week.
I mean, if he was Samoan, he'd be working with the WWE. It is what it is, you know? So
yeah. That's WWE
hey, y'all can make fun of me all you want, but you know that's a fact.
Hey, it's all right. There's how many generations of the Rock's family have been in WWE,
exactly.
so.
I'm not disagreeing. Yeah.
Vince McMahon is walking out of the grocery store and he hears this little voice. Would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies? He goes, "Are they Samoans?"
I'll make them look strong.
and she says, "Yeah, they're made with coconut." That's good shit.
Let me ask
you got any Samoans?
Oh, come on.
What are you saying, Alfred?
I wanted to get y'all's opinion. Did y'all see that Raw Underground thing that came on?
I did not.
You did not? I saw.
Yeah.
Wait,
I saw some of the video. I didn't watch it live, but I watched some of the video of it. Brandon, you see what? I'm just curious what your thoughts on it were.
Adam, what did you say real quick?
We're gonna have a 15-minute show if we move on to that right now. Hang on to that. I have another point on Cardona before we move on to that.
I thought we were about to start talking about Girl Scout cookies again. Because I'm like, this is my shit. I can talk about some Girl Scout cookies.
We can talk about Girl Scout
cookies. No, go ahead with the Cardona.
Which is your favorite Girl Scout cookies?
Mine, I'm a Thin Mint guy. I will eat a box of Thin Mints literally in one sitting. I don't care if it's like 8,000 calories. I will destroy it.
All right.
Brandon, what about you?
Yeah, Thin Mints. I was gonna go Thin Mints, but I like
I can
Samoas
take a sleeve
too.
of Thin Mints and just shove them up my ass because that's where it's gonna end up anyways. But they're good.
Wow, that's pretty. Wow.
Wow.
That was said with conviction.
Does your wife help you with that?
She buys them. She enables me.
She's your pusher. She's a pusher, man.
We're
not talking about pushing anything right now.
Adam's like, let's go back to WWE Underground.
Alfred, wait, we're on the Girl Scout cookie combo now.
I like the peanut butter ones.
Dude, that's why I like you. The tag-alongs are my favorite.
Man, you make tag-alongs at home. Just take some Reese's crackers and put some peanut butter on there, and that's it.
The same.
Yeah, man, those are the most bootleg ass damn cookies ever.
If I do it that way, I'm not helping the Girl Scouts.
Man, Girl Scouts, man.
Whoa, hey, come on. That is totally uncalled for.
Sorry.
I think you should apologize to all the Girl Scouts out there watching this show right now.
We have a lot of listeners,
I'm not
I
gonna do
think,
that.
that are part of the.
Just
no.
the savage.
What?
My sister just found some Masters of the Universe WWE
nice.
figures, and she said, I found a Savage and a John Cena, but their cards are damaged. Do you want them? And I was like, just a Savage. You can keep the Cena. So my favorites are tag-alongs, and I love the Samoas too. But in other news, Matt Cardona, man, like he has inspired like a new generation of wrestling figure collecting with a Major Wrestling Figure podcast. I know I talk about it a lot, but honestly, it is the only thing really that I am enjoying about pro wrestling right now. And I had a conversation with a coworker just about how much collecting different things has taken off. Apparently, the baseball card industry is just like skyrocketing right now because people are just craving to do things, you know? And so like I have started collecting like that WWF Hasbro action figures. There's got Andre the Giant. I've gotten everyone's favorite.
Your zipper's down.
I've gotten Greg the Hammer Valentine. Look at that right there, man.
Nice.
I mean, beautiful, beautiful. And then I mean, who doesn't love and remember Skinner?
What does a hand go back for?
I don't remember
Is it
Skinner.
for like a low five or like a nut
Is he
check?
walking?
So anyway, Skinner's great, and he comes with a knife. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going in a wrestling match, and like, you know what I need? I need a buck knife. So my point being is that it's almost like, and maybe you guys can relate, and we can go round robin here, but we're having to find different avenues to satisfy our love for pro wrestling right now.
I got one on that one. My horror collection has like gone up. So I went out and spent a lot of money on the replica 2018 Michael Myers mask from the last Michael Myers Halloween movie. I got it and had to repaint it to make it more movie accurate. And then today, like literally like right before we started the podcast, I got my Freddy glove, the official Nightmare on Elm Street, that's made out of like actual metal. It's pretty heavy. It's just a little extra stuff that I like to spend the money to doing a little what they call retail therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, during this scam demo.
I think that's what's happening because like we all have our things, and I was feeling down the other day, and I was like, I'm going eBay, and I literally browsed eBay. I just typed in wrestling figures because I wanted to see all the crap, and I didn't want to search for anything specific, and I was just browsing, and I was like, why is this satisfying to me? Like, this is entertaining.
When you come down, we need to go to the dirt mall, like go to Smiley's and just go see what kind of figures we can find.
Let's do that.
Well, first of all, my question is, why were you so down the other day?
The dirt mall. We're going to go to the dirt mall.
The dirt mall, yeah.
Don't try to avoid the question. Why were you so down the other day?
Alfred, that's a personal question, and I'd appreciate if you stay out of my affairs.
You're a weird guy, Ace.
Listen,
Brandon, have you found yourself doing anything like that?
Well, no, not necessarily, but I do want to go back to what you said about baseball cards, because I was under the impression that they had kind of gone to the wayside. But are you saying that they're back and they're popular again?
They're freaking huge right now, man.
Because
have you not seen the videos of people unwrapping these things all the time? Like, I see videos all over the internet of people just unwrapping baseball cards they just get at the store. It's crazy.
All over the internet, Alfred. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration.
Maybe half of the internet.
Okay. How about a couple of channels on YouTube?
Yeah, like maybe like some great videos on Periscope and
call it what it is.
Just pump the brakes here.
Anyways,
the first thing on MSNBC wasn't
Point is, I've got like several shoeboxes full of baseball cards, and if I can make money off of them now, then maybe I'll look into it. But I was under the impression that people stopped caring about baseball cards.
They are freaking huge to the point that I actually saw a couple coworkers at work like looking at them and like, what are you nerds doing?
I might be sitting on a gold mine here then, because I had no idea. I'm gonna have to
wait for like a diehard wrestling fan who's sitting there talking about Macho Man and
like I'm over here,
the
like,
Skinner action figure doing this shit. Dude goes, what are you nerds doing?
Here's your thumbnail, Brandon.
Losers. You're all losers.
So, but
I'm gonna go play with my wrestling toys.
Yeah, so that's the thing though. I think that's happening in a lot of places, and I do think that like we're having to find different avenues to scratch the itch of wrestling right now, because I just haven't enjoyed watching it. Even like Cardona's debut last week, I was like, okay. But if there had been a crowd there, it would have been a different story. Alfred, are you finding yourself like trying to find another avenue to satisfy your wrestling fandom right now?
Yeah, have you collected any more children?
No, I'm trying not to kill my children. Honestly, that's kind of what we're doing over here at the Rivera house. But kind of weird though. I mean, quite honestly, we're kind of excited because we're house sitting right now.
Oh.
So, which is literally like 15 minutes from work. So we're in this really big house right now. So I'm actually able to do things in like this office without, we got space for the kids to run around and stuff. So it's not cramped. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a really weird feeling to be like in this, in like a real house.
Yeah, I didn't see any like stained glass candles of like Saint Maria back there or anything like
No,
that.
no, this is an actual office. There's not.
I figured you weren't at home.
No. So, not at all. The wrestling, I think with me, like, to be honest, with baseball started back up and watching, and I've been kind of keeping up with the Braves and stuff, and like you said, nothing's really jumping out at me as far as any kind of storyline or anything that's really kind of bringing me in to watch what's going on. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not seeing anything that's really grabbing my attention. So it honestly, like, well, now with baseball back up and kind of going, and basketball kind of started back up, I'm getting distracted by that to watch that on a Monday night instead of wrestling, because there's just like, I guess maybe I'm starting to miss the crowd not being there. You know,
I think that's what it is. I was just about to ask you, do you think it might be the crowd? Because
I think it is too. I think it was great at first. It was something, but now it's just like, I mean,
I almost want to make it an event like at my house, because usually when we have like pay-per-views or something like that, or I always have like a whole house full of people here, and I'm almost willing to do that for like a Monday night or Wednesday night or whenever, just whenever they say, hey, next live show is going to be a live show with a full crowd, because I'm ready to pop for stuff, you know.
I just like, I think for fans, we feed off the
energy.
crowd just as much as I think the wrestlers in the ring do. And I think I've noticed that with like NASCAR, because NASCAR is starting to bring fans back into the races, and it's kind of a weird reaction you see. And like, I know I hate bringing up NASCAR, but for instance, when you win a race,
you don't hate bringing up NASCAR.
But I'll just say this: when you win a race and there's no crowd to react to it, it's a different feeling than when you hear a crowd cheering for somebody when they win a race. It's such such a huge difference that I think for me, not having the fans there to have a pop, to have that excitement, I think for me it's starting to be like, all right, now we got to try to do something here to get some fans. And I think that's just me personally.
Adrian, you I don't know, this whole conversation just gave me an excellent idea about the Moss compound.
Oh,
I'm listening.
Let's invite some of our listeners over there.
No, we won't do that. But the next, I got a fart.
Oh, come on. Well, at least we're not there with him. So at least it makes it better. Oh,
I don't want my farts on audio. I don't want to use that.
That sounded wet. Are you sure it was just a fart?
I did. So what if, Adrian, we have the next AEW pay-per-view that comes on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We make a big to-do, get Mean Street down there, invite 10 or 12 of our wrestling buddies down there, and then like make it like a big show. Like put it. Don't you still have that big projector thing for your backyard?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Put it on the projector. Get some folding chairs, and then like don't even let people inside. Like this is what we're gonna do. Like we're outside, and then like Mean Street could be live. We could be hosting it, and then have like Mondo there, and he can get up and do like a raffle for a wrestling figure.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm all over that.
Make it a big show, and like have Evan come down, and like you can do like a 2-man show with him as Thunderbolt Mahoney.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'll see if I can get him to show up. Yeah.
It'd be great too is we were able to bring Danny Jordan down there too to punch Brandon right back in the face again.
Now we're talking, dude. If we can get some of our wrestling fans, it'll be even better. But maybe that's what we need to do is we need to bring back the Nitro Party kind of atmosphere for pay-per-views. I'm serious.
Hell yeah. No, listen, there's no bigger fan than Nitro watch parties than I was back in the day, man. So.
Excuse me, sir. You're talking to the number one fan of the Nitro
hey, hold on a sec. Well, that's debatable, but hey, Can we invite Ricky Rackman? I mean, that's the next thing we need to find out. Is he available? Is Ricky Rackman available to come
I'll see
out?
if we can
and
get Ricky Rackman and Danzig to come down and hang out.
So that way we can put this live on Facebook Live.
I got plenty of kitty cats here he can play with. It's awesome.
So we can put it on Facebook Live. He can walk around the crowd, get interviews with people, talk to some of the Nitro girls. I mean, it'll be amazing.
I do feel like we need to go over and beyond and try to get that excitement of being around a crowd again, even if it is like social distancing or whatever and wearing a mask or something, if that's what you want to do, if that's your thing. But
the only mask I allow in my house are luchador masks.
I was going to say that should be the thing. Like everybody wears a luchador mask.
Yeah. But maybe I think we should do that. So anyway, what other topics do we have up for bid there, Alfred?
Whoa, okay. I didn't know what was going on. Well, I mean, I kind of like the idea that the Mossman was coming about, obscure pay-per-views, kind of weird
First
matches.
of all, Adam asked you a
Adam's
question,
walked
then
away,
he's like, and he leaves.
I'm taking a break. He's taking a smoke break or something. Is he part of the union?
I don't know. Hey, so you
but
you brought up the topic earlier that Adam cut you off.
Yeah, the Raw Underground. I saw some of the YouTube videos of it. I didn't see it live. Brandon mentioned he saw it.
Well, I saw the clips after the fact. I didn't watch it live either.
Yeah, I didn't either. I just saw some of the YouTube clips about it. So, your perspective on it. What are your thoughts?
What was the question?
The Raw Underground thing that Alfred mentioned earlier. Have you even heard of it? It happened this past week on Raw. It was basically Shane McMahon returned. And I guess throughout the show, they kept cutting to this like warehouse, this dark warehouse where he's in a ring with no ropes, surrounded by, it's basically like a fight club. And he's like starting an underground fight club, basically, hosted by Shane McMahon. And it's like, these guys can get in there and anybody can fight. There's no rules. It's just chaos. It just looked absolutely absurd. And I only saw clips of it online, but I don't know.
Underground?
Raw Underground, Raw Underground, which basically looked like a ripoff of Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground, yeah. Because I haven't heard anything about this yet. I've heard the name, but I haven't heard anything else about it.
It looked like
Lucha. Explain it. That's what it sounded like. Lucha Underground.
It looked like Lucha Underground mixed with Tyler Durden from Fight Club. It was just kind of ridiculous. But I did tell our coworker earlier, Chris. I said, I guess if you're going to try something like this, now's as good a time as any, because it's like you're in the middle of this pandemic and you're trying to figure out what works. And Raw has been seeing like the worst ratings they've seen in years. So I guess if you're going to try something outlandish like this, then why not give it a go? So I don't know what kind of response it got online. I have a feeling it got probably torn apart, but I didn't see much about it.
Some of the reviews, or it's kind of mixed. Some people were in. It's kind of, to me, I don't see one side really dominating as far as the opinions that I've read and some of the comments I've read online. But it brought me to the fact of how it's with Vince still running things. It's tough because I know when ECW became the new entity there, WWE, that I know from watching the ECW documentary, I know Shane wanted to do that as an on-stream thing because he loved the violence of it and the whole thing of what made ECW what it was. But Vince didn't want to do that. He wanted it on, one of the networks. And when you do put something like that on the network, it's never going to work. Yeah. Right, on Sci-Fi, which it never worked. It was just everyone hated it. The hardcore ECW fans, even though you had the same talent, they weren't doing the same things they were doing when they were on. So, Shane had the initial idea of doing like a stream just specifically for ECW, but Vince didn't want to do that, and that kind of fell to the wayside. So I think this is something that Shane has always wanted to do, but like you said, Brandon, maybe they're so desperate at this point to put maybe something on that might move the needle. Vince was probably finally like, all right, Shane, let's.
So to me, it looks just kind of silly because you're basically saying if you're at Raw Underground, this is like real fighting. Like you're basically calling your product out as being fake, wrestling. I hate using the F word. But by doing this like MMA style shoot fighting, it's making like, what are you saying about your actual regular product? Are you saying that that's not the real thing and this is the real thing? However, the shoot fighting that they were doing was clearly a work as well. Like as you were watching it.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think that that's much of a threat as like the Brawl for All was back in the day.
Now that was real. Now that was them trying to let the wrestlers really box. This is them portraying shoot fighting, but still working. So yeah, I agree.
Good.
Cool. Next talking point.
All right, so we went
Well, I
through,
mean, but I mean,
we went through Jannetty murdering somebody. We went through Cardona showing up, and we went through Raw Underground.
Oh, Bischoff and Orange Cassidy.
Oh yeah, Bischoff showed up for a cameo. Did you hear about that, Adam?
I heard about that, but jog my memory there.
Well, so
go
go ahead, Adrian.
No, just the big surprise was that Bischoff was going to come out, and I guess what did he do, Brian? He just mediated between
so they had
Jericho and Cassidy,
like a fake debate thing. Yeah, they had like a debate, and he was the moderator essentially.
Moderator, that's the word I was looking for.
He was asking the questions, and they were answering the questions.
And Brandon and I were talking about this before we got started, but I thought it was kind of brilliant how that's where they broke it on AEW Dynamite with Cassidy speaking. Because that was the first time he'd really kind of spoke to Jericho in the crowd, not on BTE or anything else that you've seen him in. So I thought it was kind of cool,
I thought the way they did it was kind of hilarious because they were asking, like, the first couple of questions were like these wrestling questions that were just like, he didn't answer. And then it was like this question about like the global warming situation, like something that was like non-wrestling. It was like, so global warming, what are your thoughts on global warming? And then
he went into this huge answer, and so it was basically Frank the Tank from Old School when he just goes into this super smart answer. This was Orange Cassidy, and then that was it. And then everybody was like looking around, like, "Holy crap, what?" But it was like he memorized this whole spiel. It was pretty funny.
But to me, the big takeaway from that was just the warm feeling that I got inside when I see Eric Bischoff and I hear Tony Schiavone talking at the same time on TNT. I was like, oh man, this is my generation of wrestling right here.
You heard Schiavone going, this is the first time he's been on Turner Television in 20 years.
I was waiting for Larry Dabisco to come waddling out.
That'll take 6 to midnight real quick.
But apparently, and from what I'm seeing on the dirt sheets, is that this was just a cameo by Bischoff, so he's not. I don't think you're going to see Bischoff is AEW or any of that bullshit. I think he's just going to be out here for this one-time thing, and maybe he'll come back out later on. I don't know.
Do you think that kind of stuff pisses Vince off when, like,
I'm sure anything wrestling related, not without a WWE tag on it, pisses Vince off.
No. Vince is all business, man. Dude, they've said, I think recently Jericho said that he had no intention of going back to WWE. But I guarantee you that Vince would welcome him back with open arms.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, the whole relationship with Bret the Hitman Hart, with the whole Montreal screw job, and then he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
And there's talks about CM Punk. There's always talks about CM Punk coming back to WWE and things like that too.
But I remember one of the things that Bret Hart said in that speech was no matter like what happened there, like if Vince ever asked me to be a part of the Hall of Fame, I would always say yes. So. We never know. People say certain things, and then we've seen with the Undertaker how many times we thought that was, when that was, that's his final match. That's going to be the end, and then
To me, the real question is, when is the next time we're going to see Lita on the Main Street Podcast, Alfred Romero?
Yeah. What's the latest there, pal?
Especially now that we're zooming it up, I want to see her on Zoom. I want her more than that. I want her to see me.
Oh, well, she's seen you. I've sent her that picture of you and her together in the Cobra Commander shirt or jacket. And
you have to grow your hair back out.
She was thoroughly impressed with it. Maybe I should try to pull it up for the meanies who haven't seen it. But she is I actually did talk to her last week. She's been she's in California, so she's been dealing with a lot of
that poor girl
going on over there with their.
It's this whole other country.
This is whole other.
Yeah,
Alfred, like real talk. We need to see if we can get her on for episode 100 because we're closing in on that, aren't we, Brandon?
We're like 91, 90.
This is 91. I'll have her come on for number 100. I think
MSP 100 to see if we can get her to zoom in because that would literally. I think I can just die after that. I'd be good with that.
Well,
look at Adam's face.
Dude, hang on. If we zoomed with Lita, I would just be like
no, we'll be like, no, his computer didn't freeze.
We'd have to turn Adam's. Adam, you'd have to turn your camera off.
Yeah, totally. I think that would creep her out at some point. No, by the 30-minute mark, she might go, "Is he gonna move?" Or
no, I would be like, she's probably like removed from wrestling. I mean, she seemed. If you haven't listened to that podcast, go back and listen to it on the Main Street Podcast /mainstreetpodcast.org and
World Wide Web.
Yeah,
www.
You're just saying words.
But you're having a stroke there for a minute, buddy.
Mean Street Podcast / Mean Street Podcast.
There he is.
There it is.
Yep.
That's me. Adrian, you remember that me?
I do remember that you.
How old are we talking?
Excuse me, young man.
2000, so I was like 16.
Excuse me, young man. What's your name? Adam Howell. Oh, wow. You look really sexy with your Cobra Commander jacket on. You want to come meet me?
That's
at
not
the
even how she
hotel
talks,
room?
Alfred. Alfred, we're trying to get her on the show.
That
Okay?
doesn't sound anything like her.
But
she seemed kind of removed from wrestling last time, so I'd like to kind of hear her take on AEW, hear her take on the business, coronavirus, all that stuff.
yeah, she's been, it's been tough for her because she was, she makes a lot of money doing these Comic Cons and wrestling convention things, and
Well, she
and
had
all
that new show that they were trying to do the Kickstarter for, and that was right when the
yeah.
pandemic
So
hit.
but that it was sucked because that kind of happened right when all this kind of the coronavirus shutdown happened. So I don't know what's going on with that, but she actually reached out to me because she wants to start she wants to start a Twitch channel.
Oh,
Her,
I think you
her
you
new little
mentioned that
thing
just
she
before.
wants
Hey,
to.
don't say too much. Don't say too much.
All right, well,
We'll let her tell us about it, Alfred.
yes. So apparently Paige has one, and it's the new rave. So they've been
Diamond Dallas?
No, Paige. No, not Diamond Dallas Paige.
Oh, the other.
That's not DDP.
Next time I listen to Metallica and Turn the Page comes on, I'm gonna go Diamond Dallas.
Turn the page, bro.
I would love for you to turn that into a thing at Metallica concerts where people will do that.
Bro.
That'd be awesome. But yeah.
Diamond Dallas.
So yeah, we'll try that. We'll try. We'll get her on for show number 100. I think that'll be a good idea. So
We can't promise anything. We can't promise anything.
She was on one of the really early ones. Even before I think Mossman was on with us at
Yeah,
it was like November of 18, I think.
Yeah, it was like the Thanksgiving episode, I think, or something like that.
You're right.
Have we almost been doing this show for
have we been 2 years?
August, the last Friday in August will be 2 years.
Get the out of here! How about that?
How about that?
So, Brandon, now that you're practically a part owner of SHW, what are the chances of us getting?
I own a majority stake in it.
What are the chances of us getting Dally on, man?
Oh yeah, no problem.
It just calls me
Wait,
Dallas.
Diamond Dallas?
No, Paige.
Diamond Dallas?
What?
Yeah, I see what I can do.
You have to do the dramatic zoom in.
Yeah.
Diamond Dallas?
Yeah, so yeah, to answer your question, no problem. Yeah. Episode 100. Diamond Dallas Page, Lita, Rich Ward. Who else? Who else can we get on?
But I mean, the thing is that we've had.
Albert fell out of his chair.
Diamond Dallas?
We've had Rich Ward. We've had Lita. I want to get Dally on here, man.
Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get Marty Jannetty on here. Be like, yo, man, let's get it out in the open, dog.
Let's talk about it. Let's figure out
when you killed that guy with that brick, what kind of brick was
Excuse me. Are you the representation for Marty? Yeah, we wanted to get him on talk about his murder.
Yeah.
Is he available?
Allegedly.
I'm sorry. Yeah, alleged murder. Would you be available Monday to come on for an interview?
Anywho. So we got a huge show 100 lined up for you guys apparently.
Already.
It's going to be Paige, Marty Jannetty.
Diamond Dallas? Which one?
Atlanta.
So
this show Page has gone off the rails.
Page, Diamond Dallas Page, Lita, Rich Ward, Marty Jannetty. That's a stacked show, guys. I don't know.
Man, that's good.
It's gonna be a long episode.
I just love the fact that Alfred starts laughing so hard here.
His Wi-Fi connection cuts out on him.
It's about stacking. I've stacked bodies.
Oh, God.
What?
Did we just have another Marty Jannetty issue with Alfred Romero this time?
Oh, what's happening?
That's the first time I disappeared somebody. All right, I don't know what we're talking about. Is that a show? Is this a wrap?
I think so.
I guess we're gonna wrap it. Hey, Alfred.
Yeah. What are you guys looking forward to coming up?
For the meanies, we are wanting to. You guys tell us what you think, but we're wanting to pull an old pay-per-view, preferably a terrible one, and you let us know what you guys want us to listen to or watch, and we'll kind of go through it and just pick it apart and tell you what we hated, what we liked, and I think that'd be kind of fun.
Dude, they're gonna say something like Backlash 2013.
Okay, well then screw the fans.
You know
Let's just pick it between us because the fans are idiots.
You know what? I think Adam made a good suggestion. The sold out, the NWO.
Let's do sold out. Let's do NWO sold
That
out.
is seriously, I
I'm
love
good with that.
listening. I love listening to the interview that Big Sexy had because he did literally 30 minutes of complaining about how that was like the worst pay-per-view idea for the NWO ever. Because
Well, the thing was he was focusing too much on the adjectives. So, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Hey,
the fact that the NWO was like this big renegade company that were like these badasses that like love, jetting and women, and here they are riding on the back of dumpsters. Like, where was this in Minneapolis, Minnesota? It's like,
dude, if there's nobody loves jetting more than me.
Dude,
right.
I can't wait to go jetting. Next time I go jetting, you guys are gonna be like, "Whoa, this motherfucker's jetting."
Could you imagine like presenting that idea to like Hulk Hogan and like all these people? All right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ride on just these dump trucks. All right, it's gonna be snowing. It's gonna be great. We're gonna be in Minneapolis.
Dude, first of all, Alfred, you realize you just said Hulk Hogan the way they say it down here in Bibb County, in South Bibb County. Hulk Hogan.
Hogan.
They weren't on dump trucks. They weren't on dump trucks. They're on garbage trucks.
Oh yeah, garbage truck, dump truck, whatever. They all Hulk. They all Hulk.
They all got
They all
Mexicans
Hulk
on the
shit
back. It's
around,
fine.
whatever. And then, yeah. So they were like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it in Vegas or somewhere. Where was it? Like somewhere. Yeah, I was like, I think that might be the best one to.
Well, I never actually saw it.
I cannot wait to watch this.
The way
I've never seen it.
The way you guys are talking it up, now I'm excited to see it.
Well, hey, before we sign off, let's see what the you guys want to see what the card is, or you just want to keep that for next week?
We'll save it. We'll save it. So we'll talk about it later.
Hey guys, I'm a longtime listener of Main Street Podcast, and I just wanted you to know that I'd like to recommend Great American Bash 2015.
Jesus.
Well, maybe we can just preface it by saying like old WCW, because that way it'll have to be in the 90s.
No, because there's some good. I'm sure there's some good crappy WWE ones back in the day.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And honestly, the WWE ECW, like we could watch one of those.
Yeah,
like,
I'd be down with that.
And good at the same time. Like there's actually some good matches there. So, guys, I don't know what you guys have to do tonight, but I'm gonna go jetting. So,
I love jetting and I love women, but instead I'm gonna ride in a dumpster. So hey, on that point, let's ring the bell.
I wish you guys would take a page out of my book.
Diamond Dallas?
Diamond Dallas?
Hey, Alfred, ring the bell, buddy.
I think he's gone. Is he
Oh, God, Alfred! Alfred!
F you.
All right. Hey,
guys.
I'll see you next week.
Hey, I got you.
he's already
Diamond Dallas?
Diamond Dallas? Jetting.